The Hollywood sign. Few landmarks are as instantly recognizable worldwide as LA's own Hollywood sign. For 100 years, it has been a proud symbol of Los Angeles' development and, of course, the entertainment industry. But contrary to popular belief, the sign was not designed to promote the motion picture industry, which, by the early 1920s, was already synonymous with Hollywood. Instead, it was a publicity gimmick for a new real estate development at the top of Beechwood Canyon called Hollywoodland. This expensive advertising ploy cost them $21,000 and was intended to be temporary. So why is it still with us 100 years later?
Hi, my name is Brian Lane. I am a trustee of the Hollywood Sign Trust, and I'm the secretary of the trust. In 1943, the developer kind of went out of business, so they're trying to close out. And so what they did was they donated the land to the city of Los Angeles. And in 1947, this Rec and Parks Commission actually recommended to demolish the sign. And what happened was actually the neighbors actually said, no, we don't want to demolish the sign, we want to keep it. The Hollywood Chamber stepped in and said, we'd like to help repair this and take on some of the work here to keep it in place in 1949. And the agreement that they came to was that they would remove the word land and it would remain as Hollywood.
But even with the community's support behind it, the sign continued to deteriorate. Constructed of wood and located over a coarse terrain, its vulnerability to the often harsh elements of LA's summer and rainy seasons required action.
So in 1973, the sign received HCM status. And at that point, the sign was probably in its worst shape that it had ever been. It was falling apart and everything. But what that designation gave a little extra oomph to the campaign to start to rebuild the sign in 1978. They basically rallied all kinds of folks, from Hugh Hefner to Alice Cooper, Gene Autry. There were a bunch of folks that were engaged to pony up money per letter, about $27,700 per letter. They rebuilt the sign in about 3 months, actually, fairly quick as far as building goes these days.
A few years ago, the Trust began to prepare for the Hollywood sign centennial by conducting a number of projects, including the sign's first structural checkup since 1978.
We did discover some things that had to do with soil erosion that came down the hill. The bottom of the L's were like little retaining walls holding back dirt of the hillside. And there was many years of old conduits and, security equipment that had been left on the sign that was no longer used. We wanted to do a general cleanup, all leading towards painting the sign. Painting took about 6 weeks, start to finish. The prep of getting it all set and everything took close to a year. One thing to know about working up at the sign is that we have a lot of partners. Because the sign sits on city land, which is part of Rec and Parks and Griffith Park, we're always coordinating and working with them. So there's a lot of preparation to go up there and work on the sign.
With their efforts to strengthen and restore the letters, the Hollywood Sign Trust is taking a thoughtful approach to stewardship for the next 100 years.
When you see images of Los Angeles, the Hollywood sign is probably going to be in the top 10. So much is tied up in our identity with that sign. And I think that is one of the main reasons we have to make sure it continues to flourish.
A confluence of architecture, art, and advertising, the Hollywood sign remains the biggest star in town. And thanks to the Trust's preservation work, it shines brighter than ever. Happy 100th birthday, and the sign is now ready for its close-up.